My name is Tarek, and I'm the student success specialist here at JPW Academy. And today, Jacob has asked me to chat with Amarie today about the progress that they have made, particularly in maths. So first of all, would you just be able to explain to me where you were at before you joined the course in terms of maths?
Well, with maths, I was working at around a grade six, and I especially struggled with algebra.
Okay. So you found algebra most difficult out of everything.
Yes,
And then when you did join the program, how did you find that, and was there any reflection in your grade?
yeah, I found it extremely helpful with having these extra tutor lessons to help teach me through um, these areas, especially. And I also like how collectively people are effectively sharing ideas, and likewise you can learn from others.
Yeah, most definitely. In terms of your grade, did you see any progress then from before the course until after the course, or during the course at least?
I've seen improvement in my scores due as through the homework as to begin with, mine were fairly low. However, over the last almost 3 months, it's gradually improved.
Okay, and do you know what kind of grade you're working at now, roughly?
Um, Probably around grade seven or grade eight.
Well, you predicted for eight.
Okay, that's really good. So you've made a jump kind of from around 6 to 8. That's really good. So what in particular about the program allowed you to kind of make this progression, would you say?
Um, Both the feedback during the lessons as well as the feedback you get from doing homework, as they set weekly homework.
Yeah. So when you're in the lesson, you said, it's a group-based kind of tuition. Did you feel as though you was able to get feedback or kind of your questions answered when you're in these lessons?
Yes, I found that whenever I'd ask a question in the Q&A, I'd always get a positive response.
Okay, that's fantastic. So in terms of, these group lessons, how did you find it? How did you find having other students within the lesson?
And I find it quite helpful getting an outsider's perspective as well as being able to check to see whether my working out was correct.
Yeah, that's really good. So you say, having other students kind of ask other questions or, have this other perspective allowed you to think of things perhaps you otherwise might not have.
Yeah.
Yes, that's really good. So obviously, the course is a few times a week and you have this weekly homework and things like that. How did you manage that commitment?
I found that I'd use between Fridays to early Sunday morning to work on the homework whilst I saved earlier in the week for any other homework I had for school as well as my tutoring lessons.
Okay, yeah, that's good. So you managed to kind of have a routine about it and kind of like timetable things in very well.
It's really helped you for routine, this, hasn't it?
Yep.
I think you've struggled to section it all off, didn't you? But now you've got these very defined periods of time post school, haven't you, for the tutoring, when you do your homework and additional study, and then when you do your study for these subjects at weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's good.
That's really good. So would you say, having that kind of time management with the course and things like that helps you to translate to other subjects and having that routine?
Yes, I've found it's really helped with doing revision as well as I get both this practice in as well as the fact that by having these set periods of time within my week, it helps with understanding what I can do when
Yeah.
and whether I'm free or not during these periods of time.
Yeah, no, that's definitely really good. So what made you opt for, this kind of group-based tuition as opposed to getting something like a one-to-one tutor?
Well, when doing the group, like the taster,
Yeah.
I found it quite helpful that there was a option for a group setting, and I found that if I were to do it alone, then I would probably be stuck in a boring routine that I probably wouldn't as enjoy as I do with a group one.
Yeah, that's really good then. So it's much more enjoyable having, other like-minded students as opposed to just kind of having a one-to-one environment.
Yeah.
That's great. So now that you've kind of achieved or you're predicted for an 8, how has that made you feel? Has it made you feel more confident about, other subjects or, the progression in the future?
I feel more confident when doing maths, especially as through this improvement continue it on forward at A level.
Okay.
You weren't certain, were you? Maybe start of the year, but then when we were looking at what you want to do at A level, it's kind of crystallized that and really focus you on that you do really enjoy maths, don't you?
Yeah.
Which I think is the tutoring's really aided that passion, hasn't it? It's been good.
Yeah, that's really amazing to hear. So it's kind of, being able to give you more insight into what you want to do in the future and things like that. That's fantastic. So besides from that, would you have anything else you think would be nice for other students to hear or you think would be important for any prospective students wanting to join the course?
I think prior to joining, they have to be aware of the fact that they have to both manage their time as well as only being able to do what they can.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I would say, obviously, it, like I said, it gives you that regiment, doesn't it? A regimented kind of time frame that you kind of build out, and you've got to want to do that. You've got to have a discipline for that, haven't you? But it does make it easier with the times kind of you know you've got to be there for that time, don't you? I think also the other thing is the homework and the feedback. Obviously, it's not been mentioned, but you do get feedback once a week based on the homework, which I mean, I don't know if you find it useful. I find it useful to see as well, just to see where the progress is and see, it's kind of, it's never put in a negative light. It's always like pointers and things just to look at next time, just to make you think. I remember that from last time, and in help and guide you forwards. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I really like that, the feedback that you get.
That's superb to hear, and I'm really pleased that you enjoyed the course and the feedback overall. But other than that, thank you so much for your time today. And if you're watching this, I hope that it's given you a taster of what you could achieve too.